Oh, about 20 minutes before sunset. I'm on mile 15.8 of the Rattlesnake through hike. Which means I got about 4 miles left to go, or 4.5 miles. And well, the Garmin watch is doing pretty good. First time I've used it, I switched arms because it wasn't picking up my pulse in the right hand for most of the way down. And the whole time I was eating lunch, and on the way up, no pulse. So swapped the band. Seemed to keep track of my feet. I overachieved all my goals in one day for the week. And it said my battery should be 0. At least that was a plot line. Now it's flatted out at like 4. With kind of weird metrics I'm not used to. So doing the PCT loadout. Had 3 liters when I started. I'm running a little low right now, but I did have a big-old cup of coffee, about 400 milliliters, nice soup, and then I ate a bunch of nuts. So, but he found some shredded chicken breast in a can. That's right, his tongue would get cut on the can, but I grabbed it from him and scooped it out for him. He definitely knew where that can was on the way back. He sniffed up quite a bit. And then, yeah, 3rd or 4th time I've done it already this year. I'm gonna see if I can get a few more laps. I think what my plan is for the PCT this year is to do this twice a week, and then throw Mount Si, Little Si combo, throw Tenerife in there, and mailbox via the old trail. So like I said, when I left, I had I guess in about 31 pounds. I'm gonna wait for sure on the scale when I get home. But just carrying a bunch of fuel, some odds and ends I usually don't have on the PCT. Definitely don't have my bear can, sleep bag, tent, fly, all that stuff isn't in here. I brought poles to see how accurate the Garmin is, and with and without poles. Oh, it's getting quite nippy here. So had a few issues with the last night I downloaded 3 routes into the watch, which was this route, and then the Mount Si Little Si combo via the Boulder Garden Trail off the old Si, and then through a mailbox. I'm gonna throw Tenerife in later. And I don't know why, but between the Gia and the watch, I did more miles via the watch. But I asked the watch to do 3D distance. I'm kind of curious what Gia has. I remember that the PCT, when they released it, they miscalculated the distance because they did just 2 plane distance, and they added a whole bunch more miles when they figured out the 3 plane was there. And I might have mentioned in the video before, but if you go off the Far Out app, I added up all my sections very diligently. It was nice when they updated the interface with the computer, so it was really easy for me to check everything. Downloaded that all in an Excel spreadsheet and ended up about 10% low on elevation. So it underreports elevation in the Far Out app compared to what the known elevation change is from Canada to Mexico. So looking forward to my June 15th start in Mexico and Canada. And yeah, I've only got a few extra pieces of gear. I'm gonna get one of the things I'm gonna carry this year is a humidity sensor. And I'm gonna hold off on, if this watch doesn't pan out, I can return it. But that humidity sensor made by a German company, and it's a super accurate one, it connects to my phone just like this does. So because the phone measures, sorry, the watch measures temperature via a sensor that's close to me, and especially when I'm sleeping in a sleeping bag, it's going to measure the interior temperature of that bag. And my plan is to put the humidity sensor in a pocket up there, and then all that data, I'm going to just make a huge database when I get back. And I don't know, I'm a little bit of an eclectic retired engineer, so I definitely like the aspect of having all that data and checking it out. And you know, with my broken back and everything, pain wise, because the temperature changes and things like that, but nothing to do with that. I'm just really curious, because the whole way I made it with a 30F Feathered Friends Hummingbird bag, and I'm really interested to see, because I know quite a few nights I had ice on top of my tent fly, and you know, where you have to dry it all off when the sun comes up. But on those nights, you know, I'd be wearing long pants, socks, my pullover. In some case, I put my down jacket on, which was usually my pillow. But yeah, I'm feeling a little trepidation, but you know, I've done this hike, like I said, maybe 3-4 times already this year, in the winter and snow. And by the way, they cleared all the trees over here. There's a lot of down trees. I hacked some of them with my bandsaw. It's like a strap saw for cutting wood, but it definitely takes some time. And then they came by with the chainsaw and got the big ones, which was really nice. So yeah, and another device I'm thinking of getting is a discontinued, but I'm gonna buy it on eBay. It's a little it's a RP pod, RD pod. Anyways, it's a pod that runners use basically, and the reason why I got issues with my stride, both on the PCT when I was in the Sierras, family doctor, he said, yeah, that's probably why you got your shin splints. And he gave me the diagnosis just by observing me, and he says, yeah, you might want to reduce that stride. And I had KT tape on to help the recovery period. And he said, yeah, that tape looks like it's applied right for that. And it was so nice, I met up with a fellow PCT hiker coming back, because she had to skip the Sierras in the 23, and she had KT tape, and I lost my ibuprofen somewhere, so when I really needed it, she had some, and she had that KT tape. And then, but you know that in a hiker box I find a bunch of KT tape. So yeah, I wore that for the rest of the way down to the Mexico border in 24, and brought a bunch of 25. It's also great for blisters, by the way. I didn't have any, but I know that's a fact. Yeah, here comes sunset. Beautiful, beautiful sunset. All the colors coming out. These are the only trees they didn't clear. So yeah, so that little pod, it gets put in the center line of my belt, and where it resides, let me flip this. I'm gonna make a pocket where my zipper is, and embed it with a little bit of Velcro strap, and I'm gonna test it out. But that gives you your centerline mass, and it helps the Garmin watch record your stride a lot better. And I found a hack where you can have that sent in a separate data stream, so it records both the cadence and stride from the watch, and streams a separate data stream from the RD pod. And yeah, kind of really interested in analyzing that one. I figure out all the little quirks and issues. So I've only had the phone less than, I guess, 16 hours. My beautiful wife had to show me how to do some of the things, because it's a little anti-intuitive, but I get the gist. So anyways, guys, training for the PCT, and as always, loving Loving it. Oh, and this is my Vert Fest. And I did up Crystal. I do a lot of backcountry skiing, if you didn't know. And they have Vert Fest races. Explained it to my Thursday hike team, and they were like, "What?" Anyways, awesome.